This is the Sawyer mini water filtration system. I picked this up at Cotswolds today. They price matched Amazon, although I managed to show them the price for the black one. The blue one would have saved me another £1. First of all, you notice there it's claiming it filters up to 100,000 gallons from fresh water sources, claiming multiple ways to use on your next adventure. On the back, again, a few examples how to use it. You notice there talks about a 0.1 micron absolute filter, and that's what your water needs to pass through. Weighs 2 ounces, compact, light, and nice and simple. Very similar to the Life Straw idea. The last thing I had similar to this, but way less advanced, was my bobble, which just screws on the top and filters out. So let's take a look inside. And that's how to do an unboxing. So here we've got the foldable, squeezable bottle, standard size mouthpiece there. Let's see if that tells us how much. 16 ounces. Now the Imperial systems use a lot more in the States. I'm guessing that's about 500 ml. Some helpful tips and tricks. If you need to, pause that and take a look. Basically just saying don't freeze it, don't over squeeze it, don't tighten the filter too much. Fairly common sense things. You've got a cleaning plunger, which is a decent size. 50 ml cleaning plunger. You've got the screw top. If you go off and collect some water, you can screw that up before you get back to use the main event, the actual Sawyer Mini. This is the 0.1 microns absolute hollow fiber membrane water filter. That's the end that goes into your bottle, and that's the end that you drink from. So it works just like a straw. In fact, it comes with a straw which you can stick on that end and stick into your bottle if you so desire, or simply take the top off there, screw that on, and you're away. So how effective is it? Well, we're going to do a very, very basic test now, just to see if in an extreme situation you need to do some serious passes to get this to a drinkable level. Check out this water. This is basically rainwater, mud, and other general muck. We're going to go and pour that into this. Then using this, we're going to squeeze it out into a fresh glass. So hold on, let's see how that works out. After one pass, this is what we've got. It doesn't look perfectly clear, but it's 90% clearer than it was before. You can see that. Now I'm going to give it a little smell. Smells a little bit funky, if I'm honest, but way better than it did before. I think if I was relatively desperate, I'd drink that as it is. Now this was an extreme. As you can see there, it doesn't look too bad in that instance. I've given it a couple more passes. As you can see, the colour's improved a little bit. Still not quite clear see-through as if it was a fresh bottle of water that I was using. Obviously the white balance is probably not helping us immensely. Now I'm going to give it a little sniff. Yep, it's definitely improved. It's still not perfect, but I'm going to risk a sip. to all intents and purposes, that tastes like fresh water now. I wouldn't have even attempted that before. But what I would say is I'll leave a comment below if I get any stomach problems in the next few hours or day. If you see no activity in a month or two, well, there's a chance you shouldn't buy this. I noticed something while doing the passes, and that might be because of the extreme method that I used, but of course this would collect a lot of the sediment because I didn't filter out that real bad water that we used to test. You might want to do that first, but what I did was I cleaned the bottle out each time afterwards, before each pass, so that there wasn't anything still in there that could affect the results. Worked relatively well, although I didn't really want to blow on that to inflate it too much. But as I poured into it, it was fine. Just emptying it out, 1 or 2 leaves decided to stay there. I would say that came off, the filter that's inside came off on the bottle one point, so be careful not getting any leaks there. That's just user error really. I shook this in the sink just to clean it off before I did the pass, and a lot of gunk came out of that, a lot. If you're going to be using this, I would recommend putting it in a little pouch, in a little dry bag. Just basically put it somewhere that you don't mind stuff getting a bit wet and maybe grimy. Just a little tiny plastic bag will probably be good for that. It's a shame they didn't really include it. That is actually dead small. You won't have a problem stowing that away in your bag or even in one of your pockets. You probably wouldn't drink, you know, such extreme water, but if you're in a fix, this will do the job. It says on the packaging that it removes 99.99999% of bacteria. I read one comment on YouTube, I think it was, that said that the 0.1 microns aspect of it is interesting because you could still have a virus that's that size. However, the viruses would normally bond to other living organisms or maybe other viruses, so it's very unlikely you will find 0.1 micron or whatever size virus in the water that you pick up on its own. So when it's bound together to something else, well, the total of that will be more than 0.1 microns and the filter will take it out. It's not foolproof, but it's definitely worth a try. It's a lot smaller than I remember trying. I think it was a SteriPen, but it's definitely a lot more advanced than the last thing that I had, the bobble, which was cool enough anyway and was actually quite fresh, but this, I guess, actually has some scientific properties. It says, as water passes through the side walls of the tubes, harmful bacteria and protozoa are trapped in the outer walls, so you can be confident your water is safe to drink. As I say, keep a check on me, and if I'm still on YouTube in a month's time, you might want to buy this, especially as I got it for £20.62 with a price match from Amazon. This blue one actually would be about £19 something, so considering the original price at Cotswolds was £30, I'd say that's a decent bargain. That was the Sawyer mini water filtration system. Check it out. That's a great one for your go bag.